Hi, this is Sue for Parkies and Me, My Journey with Parkinson's. So I just was sitting here thinking just now, and I've not long had a operation on my back, quite a significant operation where we've removed some bone and put in some rods and screws. So yeah, it's pretty big deal stuff. And of course I had to have an anaesthetic for that. And I wonder sometimes, I have had quite a few operations in my time, and I wonder sometimes what that does to my body, particularly my brain, and you know, is it wise to have these operations in some ways? However, with the operation that I just had, it was very necessary, because although the issue was in my back, it was manifesting in excruciating pain down my legs, and then towards the end, just before my surgery, I was having my right foot go numb, and then my right leg would go numb, and it felt big and heavy and sore, and it was horrible, and I felt like, I wasn't safe walking around. I also am a member of a Facebook page for Australian and New Zealand Parkinson's people. And it's interesting to read some of the posts that people put up, and how different people are in their responses, how different people are in the way that Parkinson's manifests in their lives and in their body, and how they take steps to try and control what they can with their Parkinson's. I know I read somewhere, and I was trying to find it before I did this podcast, I read somewhere that somebody had been diagnosed, I think 12 years ago, and they had still good mobility, no mobility issues, but they were doing some significant gym work, and I'm not sure that I'm really up for that. I might go back to my local Parkinson's Society and go to those exercise groups perhaps. But of course I need to heal from my operation before I do anything extra. But yeah, the anaesthetic, I don't think it's my friend. And sometimes, unfortunately, I vomit, which I did this time, but only for one morning, so that's helpful. It's never a nice thing when you're feeling sore and woozy and, basically not yourself, to have that vomiting on top of everything else. It doesn't bring me joy. I also had to have a cocktail of various medications to help me get through to my operation. Some of those have been able to be trimmed. One in particular is morphine, and morphine is a heavy-duty drug. I had it both as a twice a day as a slow-release medication, and I also had a liquid morphine that I could take when the pain got really bad. But morphine did really strange things to me. I would sit there on the couch and I'd turn around to say something to my husband, and I'd get partway through the sentence and I'd think, this is coming out rubbish. I'm not even making sense. And sometimes I'd say that in my head, and sometimes I'd actually say it out loud. And I'd say, oh, look, I'm sorry, I'm talking a bit of rubbish. I don't know where this comes from. And he just kind of shrugged his shoulders and laughed at me as he does, and I can't blame him. And so the thing that was really weird was, like I said, it was morphine in liquid form and slow release. And sometimes I'd go, oh, I know it starts with M. Methadone? No, that's not it. And I'd say a few other M words, and even my husband was having trouble, and they would go, oh, yeah, I know, it's morphine. But yeah, it shouldn't be that hard. And I think it's just that my mind was very much on my pain and the things I had gone through, very much on how I was recovering from my operation, very much on how quickly I could kind of get myself well again. But honestly, morphine is it's just weird. It just makes me go weird. So I'm gradually weaning myself off of it, and I will have no morphine from the beginning of next week. So I'm quite pleased with that. And the way that I am doing it is, I know if I sit for too long, it's not good for my back. I know if I sit in one position for too long, it's not good for my back. I know that walking around, even when I'm sore, can free up my back so it's not as bad. And I also know that the recliner is very comfortable when I'm feeling uncomfortable. So that's what I'm doing. I am changing position. I am going for walks up and down the hall in my house. I go for a walk outside from time to time. I get in the recliner and maybe watch a bit of telly or have a snooze. So I'm using non-medicated methods of keeping up with my pain so it doesn't get too bad. So when it starts to get really uncomfortable, that's when I head for the lazy boy and lie it back a bit so that it relieves the pressure on my back, and that seems to work. The other thing that it did to me, I was going to say for me, it didn't really help me, was the morphine affected my voice. I got this really bad kind of halting, stuttering kind of a voice. And for someone who has relied on their voice and been able to talk to people and being able to work in a radio station as a co-host, my voice has been one of my tools that is in my toolkit that I rely on. I rely on being able to string a sensible sentence together. I rely on being able to talk to people in such a way that I give them confidence that I know what I'm talking about. When my voice has gone funny with the morphine, it's terrible. It's really terrible, and it's been the thing that's annoyed me the most, that I haven't been able to talk as smoothly and say the things that I want to say, and they come out all jumbled. And my husband looks at me, and you can see he's thinking, "Oh my God, what the hell is she talking about?" And yes, so am I. Sometimes I get halfway through a sentence and it's just the kind of end part's gone. I've got no idea where I was going with that. So I sometimes worry about how much time I've got left. I know that sounds really depressing. A lot of things say, you might have 5 years, you might have 10 years, you might have 15, you might have 20. And I don't want to be doing a countdown to my end date. That would just be really disheartening. And today I read about this woman that had been diagnosed 12 years and was still going strong because of exercise predominantly, she said. And that's given me hope. And I haven't been able to exercise much for years. And the thing that I said time and time again that really upset me about this issue with my back causing pain in my legs has been that my back issues have stolen from me probably 3 years out of my life where I had no mobility issues with my Parkinson's. None at all yet. Not a single Parkinson's mobility issue was had. And then this back issue happens, causing me significant mobility issues. And I feel robbed. I feel time has been stolen from me, and that feels so unfair. Even if I can't go to the gym, I hope to be able to do some long walks with my husband, find my ways of exercising that suit me. But I do feel robbed. I feel I've lost time that should have been mine, that Parkies had deemed not ready to steal my mobility from me, but my back did, and that just feels wrong. But the good news is, let's get to the good news. The good news is that my back operation seems to have helped enormously. I said going into the operation that if I woke up with a sore back but no pain in my legs, I would be on a winner. And that's exactly what has happened. The pain is manageable, but it is centered in my back now, and there is no pain in my legs. And that's a huge win. So if this back issue has stolen from me, I'm going to claw that time back. I'm going to start walking and building up and getting fitter and getting well and going to bowls and doing the things that I want to enjoy with the people I want to do them with. So I will not let anything steal the joy from my life, steal the mobility from my life, steal my ability to be able to drive. I will win on this one. And I will stick around to see my grandchildren grow up and maybe to see their children. I choose to believe that my future is brighter now that I've had this operation. And once I get through it and get mobile again, under my own steam, life will be good again. I see a bright, shining light at the end of a tunnel, and I will not go into darkness. I will not go into despair. I will fight every step of the way to have a positive life, to share joy and happiness with my husband, with my family, with my children and their children. Life will be good again. It is already starting to be so. This has been Sue from Parkies and Me, my journey with Parkinson's. Kia kaha, be strong, be brave, be you.